Hello, welcome to my video. If you're from my Instagram, I love you. If you're not from my Instagram, love you all the same. So today, I'm gonna be ranking some classic and iconic, well, to me at least, Christmas movies on a drag race scale. And I've done this once before already. You can catch up with that video right here. But I'm doing it again because I honestly think it's funny, gaggy, and I had fun. So that's the most important thing. So without further ado, here's the video. Okay, so these are the movies that I picked for today, and these are our categories that I'm gonna explain really quickly in case they're not obvious, which I think they are, but you know what, let me just do it really quickly. So, your winner, baby, is very obvious. Miss Congeniality, second place, but very near and dear to our hearts. I ain't saying I'm the best, but I ain't the worst. Basically means meh. Shantae, you stay means okay, we're giving you another chance, but do not blow it. And sashay away means goodbye. So these are all our categories, so let's begin. So I'm actually not gonna rank these in order because I feel like we need to start off strong, okay? So let's start with A Christmas Carol. Now, A Christmas Carol is a classic, heartwarming tale, and I personally enjoy it very much. However, I do not watch it every single Christmas. I am an adult though, so take that into consideration. But with that being said, it is definitely a movie that I plan on watching with my kids. So I think I'll have to put it at Miss Congeniality for right now. And then again, like last time, if I change my mind, I'm allowed to. I am a woman. But yeah, based solely on the fact that I don't watch it every single Christmas and it's not a classic to me in my household, I have to put it at second place. Love it and respect it though. It is a classic story that has inspired many others, some of which are on this list. So let's get to ranking those. So, Ghosts of Girlfriends Past. So, if A Christmas Carol is a traditional, beautiful, heartwarming story that's supposed to teach you what Christmas is and also teach you a lesson, Ghosts of Girlfriends Past also has the essence of that lesson in there, but in a much more comedic way, I would say. It does try and pull at your heartstrings a little too, but for me, I guess this movie would have to be, I ain't saying I'm the best, but I ain't the worst. Obviously, I can't rank it above the original, and it also, not to be shady, wasn't above the original, even if I could rank it above the original, but it just wasn't, so it has to be here. But with that being said, for what it is, I do actually enjoy it. I haven't rewatched it in a long while prior to today for this video, but you know what? It is a good movie and I would watch it again. So it's somewhere in the middle. It's not exactly meh, but I couldn't rank it higher than that. Okay, so another movie that has been inspired by Charles Dickens' story is Spirited. Now, this is a fairly new release, I believe. And before we get into the meat and potatoes of this movie, I just have to say one thing. Now, please stay with me because I promise this is gonna make sense. You know, at a recent award show, I forget what it is, Shania Twain, the iconic legend queen herself, sang, "Oh, so you think you're Ryan Reynolds? That don't impress me much." Well, that do in fact impress me much because I am of the belief that Ryan Reynolds knows a good script when he reads it, and this movie was not an exception. So I do have to rate it Miss Congeniality. I do think it has more substance than Ghosts of Girlfriends Past. They are different, obviously, but this one has more substance and I appreciate the production much more. Now, with that being said, this is a musical, and I've watched this recently with my partner, and he's not particularly into musicals. I am, but even with that being said, even with me actually enjoying musicals, I said, okay, so this is going to be a Christmas story and a musical and based on Charles Dickens. Give me a break. It's going to be redundant. So I went into it with a sort of bad attitude, but I was still giving it a chance. And you know what? I'm really glad that I did, because even though it is a retelling, there is something surprisingly fresh about this movie, and Ryan Reynolds honestly picked a good script. That's why I said that. So I really did enjoy it way more than I thought I was gonna, and I really liked the little twist at the end. I would watch this movie happily again. Okay, now let's move on to Home Alone 3. And you know what? What? Like you were gonna rank it any differently? Listen, I love the Home Alone movies. I really do enjoy them. They're some of my favorite movies. They were ever since I've been a child. But Home Alone 3 is not giving. I completely didn't even want to rewatch it for this video, and so I didn't do that, in fact, but I know it's not giving. I don't have to rewatch it to know it's not giving. And even as a child, the fact that Kevin is no longer Kevin from the prior two movies really did bother me and, ticked me off. So, I mean, nothing against this actor, probably great, but it's just a third movie was not needed. That's my opinion, so it's sashay away. So now I think we should move on to Home Alone 2, which I would say isn't the best, but isn't the worst. Like, if I am in the mood to watch Home Alone 1, which is obviously incredible, 5 stars, I'll probably be inclined to watch Home Alone 2 as well, but it is kind of sequel-y, so meh. But yeah, with that being said, Home Alone, the original, you're a winner, baby. It's a classic, and I really do enjoy it. I try and watch it every year as well. It's just something about it that I love. And you know what else? When I was a child watching this movie, the fact that he was left alone in his house and had the ability to eat whatever he wanted, to drink whatever he wanted, to act like an adult, I just thought that was the coolest thing. So I was very jealous of Kevin. So obviously, this movie is a winner. Another movie that is a winner to me in my heart is The Holiday. Some people drag this movie. If you're one of those people, I don't know about you. I don't know if we could be friends. The Holiday, you have to listen to me, is an incredible, incredible movie. I absolutely watch it every year. No shame about it either. I think the cast is incredible and they have lovely chemistry. And the soundtrack for this movie was killer. I really do enjoy the soundtrack and I do like the plot. It is very Christmassy and it does lean into some of the stereotypes of Christmas and all of that. But as it should. Like, we're talking about Christmas movies. So, you know what? This is a perfect movie. I'm done trying to explain to you guys. Whoever doesn't feel like this is the best movie can't be my friend. I'm sorry I said it. Okay, maybe you could be my friend. Do you like Drag Race? Chocolate and the internet? Maybe we could still be friends. But yeah, I love The Holiday. Nobody touched The Holiday. Okay, so now for Christmases. You know what? I watched this movie when I was actually maybe a young adult or maybe in my early 20s for the first time. So with that being said, I was expecting this to be sort of like a screwball comedy and to have essentially no sentimental value or pull and no substance, and that was my bad because it is surprisingly insightful and real in certain parts around the ending, and I was not expecting that. Like, they actually have some real human conversations, which when I watch Christmas movies, I'm just expecting, you know what I'm expecting. Small town girl who loves her work, goes back to her parents' farm, and then falls in love with her childhood crush, and then decides that work is not the most important thing. Like, I'm really expecting a whole lot of nothing from Christmas movies, and I personally love that. So I was expecting the same from this movie, but it actually does have some substance and some insight. So I would have to rate this, well, I don't know if it's Miss Congeniality, because what we have right now in Miss Congeniality are some strong contenders, so it would have to be right here. I think that's a good place for it, but I did actually enjoy it way more than I thought I was gonna. And you know what? I'll say this, and I don't care that my family's watching. Just the concept of this couple being selfish and deciding that they want to spend every Christmas alone and going to lavish vacations is so appealing to me. And hi family, hi, I love you, but don't be surprised at all if I decide to do the same thing. Hey, next year maybe. Basically, whoop. I'm gonna get a lot of calls for this, but anyway, that's my opinion, it's the truth, so let's move on. Love Actually is my favorite movie of all time. Yes, I'm corny. Yes, I'm basic. No, I will not apologize for it. And you know what else? I feel the need to defend Love Actually to anybody who says that it's redundant or whatever the critics are. I couldn't read them, can't be bothered. But Love Actually really is an incredible movie. I love how all of the main characters' lives intertwine with each other, and they've tried to recreate that concept since this movie. I believe they tried it in New Year's Eve or whatever that movie is called, and that one about Valentine's Day as well, which I haven't watched either of those movies in a long time, so maybe if I watched it today I would feel differently, but I remember watching them when I was younger and going, yeah, whatever. Okay, I saw this movie, but I don't need to see it again. It was kind of redundant and pointless, and there were too many characters, and I didn't like any of them that much to get super attached. Whereas Love Actually is the complete opposite. They're all unique in their own way. They all have a unique story. I'm attached to all of them. And you know what else? Even though this is a Christmas movie, I am actually glad that not everybody in this movie gets a happy ending, because that's how it is in life, unfortunately, sometimes as well. So I like the realism. Even though I am a happy endings girl, I do appreciate the realism of this movie, although it is giving rose-colored glasses. But that's how I choose to view life anyway, so this is perfect. This is the incredible movie for me. I literally watch it every year without fail. And you know what else? The soundtrack to this movie is absolute perfection. And I'll say one more thing about this movie and then I'm done, I promise. But Jamie and Aurelia are the ultimate couple. And if I don't get proposed to in the same way, not the same way, but in a similar way that Jamie proposed to Aurelia, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna have to pass, because he literally learned a whole new language for her. Very thoughtful proposal, very thoughtful in everything that he said, even though it was spontaneous. And I don't want my proposal per se to be spontaneous. I want like the person to put thought into it. But I like the drama of him going home for Christmas, seeing all of his family and all of his people and going, you know what, yeah, you're all here, but the one person that I actually want to be here isn't here, so I have to bounce and propose to her right now. 5 stars. I love this movie. Cry every year like I've never seen it before. I'm a clown, but I just love this movie. Okay, moving on. Elf. Elf would have to be Miss Congeniality for me. I actually really enjoy Elf. Honestly, I thought that there was not going to be any aspect of romance in this movie before I watched it for the first time, because the poster and everything I've heard about it did give me sort of comedy vibes and comedy alone. And while that's okay, I am of the belief that if you're going to do a Christmas movie, there has to be an aspect of a little bit of romance in there sprinkled in as well. And that's what I enjoy personally, so that's what I always want to see. And the fact that there was that as well, but even though it wasn't the main storyline, I really enjoyed. So I liked Elf. Besides that, it's really funny. Besides that, it's an incredible concept and a good idea. And it's one of those movies that I don't think you could recreate today, even if you tried. So I respect Elf. How the Grinch Stole Christmas is our last movie. And you know what? We're finishing strong, because this is a winner. This is such an iconic movie. I also try to watch this one every year as well. First of all, let's say what needs to be said. I love Jim Carrey. That's all. And secondly, I love the story about the Grinch. I love everything about the Grinch. I've had him on my manicure on my Christmas nails before. Insert picture here. But yeah, I really love this story, and every time I rewatch it, my heart grows 3 sizes. Of course. So that's it. I ranked all these movies. Let me know what you think and if you would rank them differently. But with that being said, I'm sticking to my decisions and I think I made a good choice. But if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. By the time you're watching this, it's gonna be Thursday, the Thursday before Christmas. If you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. If you don't, Happy Holidays. And you know what? I know that the holidays are hard for some people, but just know that somebody out there is thinking of you and hopes that you have the happiest holiday possible. And thank you so much for enduring all of my brattiness, watching all of my content, and I hope you'll do so in the coming year as well. But yeah, if you liked this video, please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!